Welcome to Common Mistakes in Selenium. In this series, we'll try to uncover some of the common mistakes that are made by test automation developers while creating Selenium test scripts and test automation frameworks. So let us start with the common mistakes that we generally do in Selenium, and let us also discuss some of the workarounds or remedies of such common mistakes. Let us start part 1 of this series. The very first common mistake and the most critical in today's era is not using Maven. So Maven, we all know, is a pretty good tool which provide templating tool along with dependency management. So when we use Maven, we do not have to worry about downloading jars, setting up build paths, etc. We can simply mention few lines in a Maven's pom.xml, and all the dependency download will automatically be catered once we deliver our project to other stakeholders as well. Also, we know that Selenium releases are very frequent. It is also important to upgrade Selenium version and test scripts to improve maintenance of the test automation framework. Maven helps a great deal in keeping dependencies in check and update on the fly without much fuss or effort. So use of Maven is pretty much mandatory and pretty much recommended nowadays for any kind of test automation project. Apart from Selenium jars, Maven can also be used to maintain other dependencies, including other jars, plugins, and build path related artifacts also can be kept up to date and consistent using Maven. So, not using Maven is a mistake which should be avoided diligently. Moving ahead to the second prominent and frequent mistake is not packaging browser driver with the project. We all know that starting Selenium 3.x, we have to have browser driver exe for each browser. Each browser vendor is putting substantial effort in developing browser driver exes such that Selenium can interact with their browsers and websites and web apps can be tested on the respective browsers. However, as test automation engineers, we are not packaging this most important dependency along with the project. Let us not leave the onus of downloading the correct version and putting it in the correct path with the people who are using the automation framework. Instead, let's avoid the mistake of not packaging the browser and let's package the browser driver relative to the project and not to any other hard coded path of our hard drive. So, this is another mistake that should be avoided, not packaging browser driver with project. The browser driver exes, whatever browsers are supported and tested by our test automation framework, should always be packaged along with project itself as a relative path. Moving ahead, another mistake is avoiding logical partitioning of code. Test automation code should be partitioned in logical manner in multiple packages. For example, there should be separate packages for pages, separate packages for test steps, separate packages for workflow, domain, etc. There can be a separate package for utilities as well. Also, if the number of packages is exceeding 25, that is, if your project has more than 25 packages, it should ideally again be logically subdivided into multiple projects or sub projects. This improves scalability and maintainability of test automation project. So let us not avoid logical partitioning of code and divide our code, test automation code, in such a manner that it is highly scalable and needs very less maintenance in terms of alignment and arrangement of code. Another mistake that we generally tend to do due to tight deadlines or due to other reasons is using a lot of support tools. We know that some Windows components, for example, cannot be automated by default behavior of Selenium. So we integrate our Selenium test automation code with tools like AutoIt, Vinium, Sickly, etc. These tools are good to use. However, we should not use lots and lots of these tools in order to facilitate automation. We can use any one of these tools for Windows component handling, and if we are facing any challenges, we should debug sufficiently before going or adding one more tool to our list of tools tally. So, using lots of tools should be avoided. Another mistake that we generally make is not having enough assertions or checkpoints in our test scripts. The core goal of testing is to compare actual results with the expected result and pass or fail the test case based on the outcome. However, if we do not have enough assertions, enough validations, and enough checkpoints in our test automation code, then the usability of our test automation decreases. The probability of uncovering of defect also decreases if we have less assertions. So prime focus should be given to validations and assertions are as important as product workflow in Selenium test automation. So more importance should be given to assertions and validations, or equal importance should be given to assertions and validations as it is given to workflow. This is another common mistake which we should avoid, of having less assertions or no assertions at all in some cases in Selenium test scripts. So this is it for part 1. Thank you.